All right.
Okay. Okay, so now I see how to do that. Okay, with the signature.
Yeah, so I'll show you that one more time. So my suggestion would to be whenever you create a new snippet, change this content type. It automatically defaults to plain text as the content type.
Yeah.
I would suggest changing it to formatted text and pictures. Even if you don't use this, it's just good so that you can go back if you want to and add
like,
it's
yeah,
already there.
Logos. Perfect. Okay.
But if you didn't do that, no worries. If you've created something in plain text, all you got to do is go to that snippet and change it from, so this one was created in plain text. All I got to do is just, or when there's nothing there. So that's not a really good example. This one was created in plain text. All I have to do is change it to formatted text and pictures. My snippet contents remain intact.
Perfect. Okay.
I'm only able to do more.
Okay.
All right. Nesting a snippet. I want to go over that really quickly. I know.
Yes.
Really cool. Nesting a snippet. The benefits of nesting a snippet is that wherever you nest that snippet, and nesting just means inserting a snippet within a snippet. The benefit of that is wherever you nest the snippet, you only need to change the master when you want to update it again. So for example, if you nest your signature, so if I'm in a snippet and I'd like to nest my signature in this snippet, all I would have to do is go to my keyboard icon here. We call these keyboard macros and insert snippet. It's going to ask me what is the abbreviation of the snippet you'd like to add. I'm going to type xsig for my signature, hit OK, and then it will nest it there. Anytime I want to update that, I just need to go to the reference snippet, the master snippet, the original snippet, and I can change it and it will automatically update anywhere it's nested.
Okay.
That's really great for like, if maybe you have some policies and procedures that you usually send people and you update your policies and procedures every once in a while. So then when you update the original master policy and procedure snippet, any place you've nested it will automatically update also.
Perfect.
So that's a good place to do that. Let's see. Well, what I do, since I'm recording this, I'm going to go ahead and show you what I wanted to show you regarding fill-ins.
Yes.
If your colleague can't make it, you can just send her this video.
Yes, definitely. Yes, I was thinking about that. So
yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and I'm going to create a new snippet. Let's pretend the scenario is you are following up with one of your clients, and this is an email. It's a common email reply. So I'm going to change my content type from plain text to formatted text and pictures. And then let's get started. You don't need to have a separate snippet for the subject line and a separate snippet for the body. You can create a snippet that includes both the subject line and the body. How we do that is we start with the subject line. So let's just say it was great talking with you, or reviewing your materials, whatever you would say.
Yeah.
So now I would normally press tab to get down to the body. Well, I'm going to do the same thing, except Text Expander is going to do it for me. I'm going to go to this keyboard macro, which is this keyboard icon, and I'm just going to select the tab. That will automatically put a tab there, which will bring us down to the body of the email. So now so now let's start the body of the email. Let's say hi, and then we want to put our client's name. So we don't know our client's name until we need to expand it. So let's go ahead and use a fill-in. Fill-ins are really useful because it will prompt you at the time of expansion to put in information you have told it to remember or remind you to put.
Perfect.
So I'm going to use a single line fill-in because this is really pretty simple. It's one line. It's a person's name. When I choose single line, it's going to say, what should we call this single line field? I'm going to call it first name because that's what I want it to prompt me to put when the time comes. I'm not going to give it a default value because I could put John there in the default, but it'll always default to John, and I'm not always writing John.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave that empty and press OK. I'm going to put a comma. I'll press return because that's just how I like my email structured. And then I'll say, thanks for your submission of, and then maybe we can put another one here, another fill-in that is the name of the work that we are.
Perfect.
All right. I would love to go over some, I'm making all this up. I actually don't know a whole lot of what
Yeah.
an editor does.
Don't worry, don't worry. No, you're good. You're doing great, and I get it, so don't worry. Yes.
I'd love to go over some edits. Let's say you give them options. Like, let's say you have different options of how you'd like to go over their edits with them. We could do chat, let's Zoom, let's meet up. We have a fill-in called pop-up menu. So maybe it varies with each client depending on where they are in the process or something like that. And you can think of how this might be applicable to how, this fits your work. But I'm going to fill in pop-up menu. So I'm going to call this meetup, or let's call it communication. And then maybe I'll say, let's chat. Maybe sometimes I say, let's Zoom. Let's hop on a Zoom. Maybe sometimes I say, let's meet for coffee. All right. So those are my options. I can add more options if I want. I can add an infinite amount of options if I have, if that's applies. I'm going to hit OK. I'll put a period there because that's how I want to end that. And then we have something called a multi-line fill-in. Please remember, oops, can't spell, to bring this list with you to our meeting. And then we have a fill-in called a multi-line fill-in, which is basically just like the single line, except it encompasses multiple lines. Maybe you have a list of requirements, or homework that they bring to the meeting.
I actually do. So.
Okay, awesome. So let's say you have a list of things, and then this we're going to put in the default because it rarely changes. If it does, you can edit it on the fly. So for the most part, we tell all the people we work with these 4 things to bring.
Okay.
So I'm going to hit OK and a period. Last thing I want to show you, we have a fill-in called an optional section. Maybe some clients we tell this to, but some we don't. Maybe we say, I'm going to go choose fill-in and I'm going to go to optional section. When I go to optional section, let's name this, for
example, like one of the things that I say, and maybe this would be good here, if there's anything you'd like to change or add to the contract, let me know and I can adjust it. So,
all right, contract adjustments. That's what we're going to name this. It's not what's going to expand. What's going to expand is going to be if there is anything you'd like to add to the contract, let me know. Okay. Now, in that, let me just double click. I have it included by default. If you say it more often than you don't say it, then you would include it by default. If you not include it more often than you say it, then you would just uncheck that and it won't be included by default, but it will still give you the option of including it.
Oh, okay.
I'll show you what that looks like. Actually, I'm going to show you the not including it by default, what that looks like. All right. And then we're just going to go ahead and insert our signature, which we do with that keyboard icon, and go down to insert snippet. And I'm going to insert my signature and hit OK. Again, if I wanted to, if it's in your link, in your signature, your link is there. But if you wanted to, maybe do a link to a calendar, check my calendar.
Oh, good idea. Yeah.
If you'd like time. All right. And then I'm going to insert this link and we'll call it right. And this is optional text. If you like the raw link, then you can leave it there. All right. So let's give it a label. We'll call this follow-up. And I'm going to give it the abbreviation of editorial follow-up. All right. So remember, we're going to expand in the subject because we included the subject, in the snippet. Yep. So EFU, and it immediately gives us our options. We wanted it to prompt us to input. So first name, name of the work. We say we want to, chat.
Okay.
This is our list. If we ever want to add something to it, we can.
Okay.
All right, you can do that on the fly. And then we decide we do want to add this. If there's anything you'd like to add to the contract, let me know. So I'm just going to click it and it will turn green, and that's how I know it's being added. I see my link here and my signature, so I'll press OK. And voila.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Isn't that? And you would do that, like you could do that any number of times, because this is basically the same email you send to most of your
Yeah.
Literally, anytime you want to expand this, you change the name, you may add some things, take it away. And then whenever you expand something, especially when you first create a snippet, I'm seeing, I don't like how that looks here. I would have to always, press return there.
Yeah.
So I would need to come here and then press return.
Oh, I get it.
That way I don't have to do that every time. Yeah, it just means there's something wonky. And then of course I spelled anything wrong. So I need to come here and correct it. So when you first expand your snippet, don't just make the changes on the actual expanded email. Go back. That way you're never, that way you're not always having to
absolutely.
Yeah. So
excellent.
But that's fill-ins. Fill-ins can change your life. They're great for those emails that you send basically that are the same to every person. And then if you have two versions of an email, this is what I send to my, article clients. This is what I send to my book clients. This is, you may have different emails that you want to, you don't think, I think you need to make one snippet and they're like, oh, well, this basically is it. It's like, no, make a couple snippets so that you never have to edit. You should be able to just expand, plop in your fill-in information and hit send.
Absolutely. Okay, great. Yeah, this was really good.
Yeah, awesome.
Wonderful. Okay.
I think that's really about, those are the real significant features that I think really can make your snippet.
What do you see, Tacoma, like your clients? So for me, this would be, I would use it probably in my first email interaction with someone that I always have to reply to an email and thank them and ask them some questions about their project. And then I have a second follow-up email, like I got your responses, thank you, let's schedule a time. So those would be my two main things. And then the snippets that I would use often in editing probably for a project. Are there other ways that people use text expander that might not be the way I'm using it, or for?
Email is probably the number one way for those who aren't in you talked about being in tech support. Tech support uses it a lot. It's still for email. They're fill-ins or their snippets,
Control-Alt-Delete.
Control-Alt-Delete. Thank you for contacting us. This is what you should, these are the steps you should follow, because everyone has the same issue. So email is probably the number one use of, because that's what we're doing all day long, especially now that everyone's working from home. It's all, we're all just communicating over email or chat. Or, and
exactly. And this is one of the things that I was surprised to learn was like, so this is cross-platform. This has nothing to do, it's not specific to Word, it's not specific to Slack, it's not, so you can use it on any of those. And that was really
any of those.
It's not like some of the other programs that I use in Word that are specific to Word and they only work within Word as add-ins. So
any of those.
Okay.
In fact, I'll show you one more thing that might make it easier. Let's say you have one, you construct like the world's most perfect email that has all these fill-ins. Well, you'll see when I expand, it takes a little time. Oops. When I hit EFU, I have to put my cursor here, press the first name, then put my cursor here, put the name of the book. Well, there is something called show at top, and I want to show you that.
Okay.
When you go to fill-ins and you push or you select show at top, then what will happen is when you expand, it will show everything that needs to be filled in up here. So you can just tap it. Yeah, so it's like everything that needs a decision made on it, it shows you it first. So I need to make a decision on who am I talking to? What's the name of the, work? How do I want to communicate with them?
Yeah.
Do I need to make contract adjustments? Do I want to include that language so that I can just press OK? It's going to expand in the right order. It just made it showed everything at the top that I need to make decisions on. That's great for when you have a lot of fill-ins, because I've seen documents, especially some of my clients that are lawyers. Oh my gosh, the amount of fill-ins that they have. And I'm just like, you're just here to fill in it. Now it's saving them a ton of time, but still, to do that show at top, you can just make these decisions really quick and then hit expand and it expands. So that's should you find yourself having to make a lot of clicks around.
So I could actually do this, like write like one of my contracts, I could just create it as a snippet then.
The snippet, because you're going to fill in the date of the contract.
Yeah, exactly. The date, the address,
the parties, the contract is between, the clauses that you may or may not include. That would be great for optional section. Yeah, like contracts is like, so yes, email, we talked about email being number one. I'm glad you said that. Contracts would be another really great use of this.
Yeah, because I can see I would do like proposals and then contracts, and those would be my okay, excellent.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is so much more than what I was
it is. It's cute when you do a little abbreviation and expands your email or
I think I always associated the word snippet with something short. And a one-line thing, and instead
so true.
It is a lot more like it's the possibilities are a lot more.
A snippet could be several pages long.
Yes. I can tell. Great. Well, this was awesome, Tacoma. Thank you so much.
No problem. Listen, Linda, you have a great day, and I'm going to send you this video. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I really appreciate your time. Really,
no problem. No problem. Now, is it just you, or you said you had a team?
So I work with 3 different editorial organizations, and then I work with the LA chapter of the Editorial Freelancers Association, which is a very big nationwide organization. It's about 3,000 members strong. And so I work for the LA chapter as a volunteer. And then I have I'm in a mastermind group with some editors, and I'm in a copy editing study group with a couple of other editors. And so you will know that I will share this information with.
I was going to say, even if one of those organizations or you and your team were to get a Teams account, it doesn't really cost you anything more. It just allows you to share snippets. If you found something that works for you, you're able to share that snippet with them. You've probably seen our public snippets where text expander users across the world share snippets that they've created. You can do the same within your organization where, and it doesn't cost you anything more. It's just a Teams account allows you to do more. It allows you to
and share the resources.
So it's not any more expensive, and anyone on the Teams account, if they don't use it, you don't pay for it. So it's not like you're paying for a number of subscriptions and it's like, only 10 of us use.
I see.
Whomever uses it, that's who's charged. No one else is charged, but they have access, should they ever decide in the future to use it, they have access to use it and your public snippet. So I'll send you some information on that. Just a thought.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. Awesome. This has been great. I really appreciate it. Okay, well, have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much. It's been my learning tool of the week has been this for sure. So
I'm so glad.
Take care.
Bye.
Okay, bye.